He'd kept the payoff on the low end. Nothing an actor couldn't scrape up, in Linus's opinion. He'd even be willing to take it in installments. He could be reasonable. And the fact was, he had to admire the guts and skill involved here, and the choice of target. He'd never met an actor he'd despised more than Draco. And Linus hated actors with almost religious equality. He stuffed the rest of the pretzel in his mouth, wiped mustard from his chin. The letter he'd sent would have been delivered first thing that morning. He'd paid the extra freight for that. An investment. You know what you did and how you did it. Good job. Meet me at the theater, backstage, lower level, 11 o'clock. I want 500,000. I won't go to the cops. He was a son of a bitch anyway. He hadn't signed it. Everyone who worked with him knew his square block printing. He'd had some bad moments worrying that the note would be passed to the cops and he'd be arrested for attempted blackmail. But he'd put that possibility away. What was $500,000 to an actor? He used the stage door, keying in his code. His palms were a little sweaty. Nerves and excitement. The door closed behind him with a metallic echoing clang. Then he breathed in the scent of the theater, drew in the glorious silence of it. He felt a tug at his heart, sharp and unexpected. After today, he'd be giving this up. The smells, the sounds, the lights and lines. It was all he'd really ever known. And the sudden realization of love for it rocked him. It didn't matter a damn, he reminded himself, and turned to the stairs that led below the stage. They had theaters on Tahiti if he wanted a busman's holiday. He could even maybe open his own little regional place. A theater casino palace. That was a thought. The Linus Quinn Theater had a ring to it. At the base of the stairs, he turned right, down the twisty corridor. He was humming now, happy in his own space, bubbling lightly with anticipation of what was to come. An arm snaked out, hooked around his neck. He yelped, more in surprise than fear, started to turn. Fumes poured into his mouth and nose. His vision blurred, his head rang. He couldn't feel his extremities. What? You need a drink. The voice whispered in his ear, friendly, comforting. Come on, Linus. You need a drink. I got the bottle out of her. His head drooped down, weighing like a stone on his skinny neck. All he could see behind his eyelids were bleeding colors. His feet shuffled over the floor as he was gently led to a seat. He swallowed obediently when a glass was held to his lips. There. That's better, isn't it? Is it? That'll pass. The voice stayed soft and soothing. You'll just feel very calm. The trank's mine. Hardly more than a kiss. You just said it. I'll take care of everything. Okay. He smiled vaguely. The eggs. It's no trouble. The noose had already been prepared from a long length of rope pulled from the fly floor. Gloved hands slipped it smoothly around Linus's neck, snug and straightening. How do you feel now, Linus? Pretty good. Pretty damn good. I thought you'd be pissed. No. But there was a sigh that might have been regret. Taking money, going to Tahiti. Are you? I'm sure you'll enjoy that place. I want you to write something for me. Here's your pen. That's the way. Here's the pad you always use to make your notes. You never use a keypad. Paper's good enough for me, goddammit. He hiccuped, grinned. Of course. Write this down, would you? I did it. That's all you have to say. Just write. I did it.
This is very terrifying. terrifying. Oh my goodness, it's so dusty. Terrifying. Terrifying. Oh. My goodness. Never before